Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Sarah Beth and today I'm going to be doing my first ever DIY tutorial. Finally, I've always wanted to do this. I'm going to be showing you how to make these rose soap bars. They make an awesome gift for almost anything. Mother's Day, bridal showers, baby showers, your own shower. Funny because it's soap. So let's get right to it. To make these bars, you'll need just 5 items. I'll be linking everything that I use down in the description bar below if you'd like to use the same ones. First, you're going to want to grab a glycerin soap base. You're going to want 2 pounds of that. Then I have some dried roses here. I have these left over from Valentine's Day, as well as some dried lavender. I also grabbed some rose oil. You'll need an ounce or less of this. You don't need to add too much at all to the soap. I recommend looking for 100% natural. You don't want any synthetic ingredients that may irritate the skin. This specific one is linked down below. You'll also want to get some rose clay. This is going to give the soap a beautiful dusty rose color. It's great for almost all skin types. It moisturizes and gently exfoliates as well. You only need a few tablespoons of this, so if you want to skip this ingredient, you totally can. It's just not going to be a 2-layer soap. And lastly, you're going to need some silicone soap molds. I would recommend having at least 8 cavities so you can make all 8 bars of soap at once. If you also have some rubbing alcohol laying around, you'll want to grab that because we can spritz the soap to pop any bubbles that may form. Once you're ready to get started, cut up 1 pound of the glycerin base or half of that whole tub into small cubes and try and keep them around the same size just so that they melt as evenly as possible. Toss everything in a glass and pop it in the microwave. Set it for 30 seconds at a time. Keep checking on it after each round. It took me about 3 or 4 tries. Every microwave is going to be different. It might take you 5 or 6 tries. So just keep checking on it until the consistency is nice and smooth and there's maybe only a few clumps that you can just smooth out by stirring. Keep stirring it up until everything is smooth, and don't be afraid to pop it back in the microwave if you have some stubborn clumps that won't mix in. Next, we're going to give it a little pop of color with the rose clay. Mix in 1 teaspoon at a time until you reach a color that you like. I knew I was going for a deep rose color, so I dumped in 1 full tablespoon at once. I would recommend going slow and mixing as you go. Keep mixing and adding rose clay as needed. It will likely take you a few minutes to get all the little clumps out. Now we add in the fragrance. Again, this step is super customizable. If you like more of a mild fragrance, I would go for 0.3 fluid ounces. If you want medium, do 0.5. And if you like a really strong scent, go for 0.8 fluid ounces of the rose oil. Once the fragrance is mixed in, pour that into 8 of the cavities, filling them about halfway. Right after pouring, spritz all over with rubbing alcohol. This is going to pop any air bubbles that may have formed, and it also serves as a glue that helps bind the second layer of soap. Let those sit for around 30 minutes to an hour. While you wait for those to set, you can grab your dried rose petals, and we're going to crinkle them up into small little pieces. You'll want enough to sprinkle on top of all 8 bars of soap. I also have some dried lavender to sprinkle on top as well. Once the soap is solid enough to support a second layer, go ahead and sprinkle on the dried flowers. You're also ready to get started on the second layer, so you can go ahead and heat up the remainder of the glycerin soap base. Once that's melted from a few rounds in the microwave, you're going to add in more fragrance. I will list those measurements again, from mild to strong scent. Mix it all up to disperse the oil and then pour on top, filling each mold evenly. Some of the petals may spread out as you pour. You can always go back in with a toothpick or even a fork would work just to touch them up a bit. Spritz again with the rubbing alcohol and let those sit for an hour, even 2, just to be safe. come back once they're fully set and pop out all of your soap bars. Full transparency, I was experimenting with the full petals. They did not turn out great. I would not recommend. And here's an up close of the finished soap bar. All in all, very pleased with how these turned out given how easy it was to make. And once I added everything up, it came to around $1.15 per soap bar, which is not too bad. Since I was gifting these, I did add a hand-drawn tag and also put them in little plastic bags tied with a ribbon. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe below for some more DIY content coming up.